Thank you, Madam President. So I appreciate, colleagues, comments and most certainly the debate, but I want to level set a little bit here. I was well involved on this issue way before coming into the Senate. And as someone who's born and raised in the Southern Tier, when hydrofracking started in our neighboring state of Pennsylvania, I met with residents and leaders there, and I will tell you that those issues with regards to health outcomes are very real. When you talk about exposure, the environmental hazards that lead to very real health implications and changes, as a representative of the Southern Tier, but more importantly, as a concerned citizen, I refuse to have my district, or quite frankly, any resident in the state of New York, to be a guinea pig for a practice to have a pilot that we know that CO2 mining is quite simply hydrofracking, but just called by a different name. We know, as evidence has demonstrated over many years of research, that this isn't an extreme approach with regards to a ban on hydrofracking. This is fueled by science, by research, and by real people's stories with regards to the impacts on their lives. In my opinion, there is no dollar sign or no amount of money that can cover the costs of long-term healthcare implications for these types of practices. And let's talk about what some of those health conditions are. Cardiovascular disease, COPD. For people who are suffering from asthma due to environmental toxins and things that they had no control over, what amount of money is good enough for them? And the answer is there is none. It is our responsibility as public officials to do all that we can to not only to protect the environment, but to protect the health and well-being of our residents here in the state of New York. Now, one of my colleagues pointed out with regards to CO2 and that we need to have more opportunities to study. And one of the things that we do know with regards to CO2 is that once it hits, and I want to make sure I quote this properly, that CO2 converts to carbonic acid in the presence of moisture, making it corrosion prone. Now, you don't need to be a scientist to know that corrosive materials are bad. And so when you talk about the impacts and the implications of this new proposed practice, again, hydrofracking just being called by a different name, it is our responsibility to do all that we can to ensure not only the safety of our environment and the health of our residents now, but also for the future. Madam President, I proudly vote aye, and I thank all of my colleagues, Senator Krueger for also helping to lead this fight for many years, and also Senator Harckham, our Senate Majority Leader, and of course, the bill sponsors in the Assembly, Assemblymember Kellis, and Assemblymember Lupardo. Thank you, Madam President.